engagement party.
Oh, there was a lovely engagement ring, darling.
Lovely of your parents to finally get married.
Oh. Luke, they belong married. They really do.
Did you see all those fabulous gifts they got? Oh, my goodness.
I hope they like that picture frame that we picked out.
Oh, I think it was the hit of the party, second only to Mike's little surprise mailbox.
Yeah.
Champagne, anyone?
Oh, you don't have to ask twice, darling.
You know what I like best about the party?
What did you like?
It was the first party we've been to since we've been back that was given for somebody besides us.
What's the matter, Mike? The glitter and the glitter finally getting to you?
Oh, no, I agree with him. It's nice to go to a party celebrating somebody else's happiness for a change.
Well, I, for one, happen to thrive on attention, darling.
Yes, we noticed.
You know, there was a time in Hollywood when 5 or 6 parties a week were given just in my honor.
Back in your golden years, of course.
I'll have you know, Robert, that my movie career can take off at any moment. That is, if I get the right part.
Or the right cash.
Champagne is served. Think Bobby and Ruby can find this place?
I could hardly miss it.
Well, they've never been here before.
Thank you. Well, let's hope we don't get all snockered before they get here.
Oh, I love parties. It has a wonderful way of helping you forget your problems.
Mm.
Yeah, I wonder if Mrs. Grant was snockered. She certainly didn't seem to be forgetting her problems tonight.
That was strange, wasn't it? She left so suddenly.
Joe.
I didn't think you'd mind, Mrs. Grant. I let myself in.
So I see.
I think it's time we had a talk.
About Heather.
About Heather. And about you.
To tell me the bad news, you can forget it. I already know.
You do?
Yes, Captain Ramsey called me at the Weber party. He told me that Heather escaped. Have they found her yet?
Why? Are you afraid?
Well, of course I'm afraid. My daughter's a very dangerous woman.
So you've told me.
Oh, well, you make no mistake about it. And please, Joe, don't you be fooled about it, too. She is capable of all kinds of terrible things. You remember what she tried to do to Diana Taylor?
She tried to do?
How many times do I have to say it? Heather should never have been let out of Forest Hills in the first place. It was the best place for her there. She was safe and she was out of the way, and it was where she belonged.
Back up just a second. You said she tried to do something to Diana.
But she tries to manipulate everybody. She just takes them and she twists them around her little finger, but not me. Not me. I think that I'm about the only one who knows the real Heather Weber. And sometimes I think I know a lot more about her than I wish I did.
That's exactly what I want to talk about.
What else is there to say, Joe?
You've already said it. You said she tried to do something to Diana. Now, do you think that Heather murdered Diana Taylor?
I don't know.
I think you do know. I think you know a lot more than you've let on to anybody else.
Joe, please.
Don't you think it's about time that you told the whole story?
I have already talked to the police.
I know.
Then why don't you go out there and find Heather? Because that is where the real danger is.
Yeah, but the real truth is here, isn't it?
What are you saying? What are you trying to do? Why are you standing here asking me all of these questions when you know how upset I am because Heather is on the loose? Now, why do you come here and upset me even more?
Mrs. Grant, I am sorry that you're upset.
Then you'll leave.
No. I'm afraid I can't do that either. It's time to tell the whole story. Not just how you found Diana the morning after the murder, but exactly what happened the night of the murder.
And how would I know about that?
Because, Mrs. Grant, you were there.
Tell me, Joe, how did you know that I was at Diana's that night?
To be absolutely honest with you, it never even occurred to me until the prowler led me to the bus.
The bus?
I talked with passengers on the number 9 bus of that evening. They told me that a woman got on board and she was acting very, very upset. One of them, a Mrs. Yamato, gave me a hairpin this woman had dropped. The hairpin was the exact same style as the ones that Shelley Vernon lost.
Who?
Shelley Vernon was the nurse that Heather was impersonating to get out of Forest Hills in the first place.
Of course.
I knew that Heather couldn't have dropped that hairpin on the bus because she was using Shelley Vernon's car. So I went down to the bus station that connects the suburban lines to the city line, and I found out that one of the suburbs connected was Glenville.
I see.
It didn't take me long to put the rest together. Are you all right?
Yes. Just give me a moment to pull myself together.
Look, you just relax for a second. Let me get you a glass of water.
Thanks for giving me a chance to catch my breath.
Do you want some more water?
No, I'm all right.
Can you go on?
You want to know what really happened?
I have to know the truth, Mrs. Grant.
Yes, well, in a way, it's going to be a relief to tell you. I mean, maybe it'll more or less will relieve some of the pressures that I've been under lately. It's been terrible for me these past weeks. I didn't know what to do, Joe.
That part at least will be over now.
You got to believe me that I never wanted, nor would I have let Heather go to an institution for the criminally insane. Now, I wanted her back in Forest Hills because that is the best place for her, and I still think so. I figured that if she was sent back there, then it would make all of my silence worthwhile.
You paid quite a price for your silence.
I know I did. I've almost become a wreck. But then when Heather started trying to get custody of Stephen Lawrence, I knew that what I was doing was really the best all the way around. Doing it for my little grandson, Joe, not just for myself.
I understand.
Do you? And you don't think that I'm some kind of monster for not telling the truth?
There were extenuating circumstances.
Thank you.
And now, I want to hear the whole story. Will you tell it to me?
Yes, I will.
Just explain what happened, please.
Poor Diana, she just had it all figured all wrong. She had thought that when she told Jeff that PJ was really his son, that he would propose to her. I didn't know that Jeff was supposed to come over. And I had gone over that night because I had decided that I should have a talk with Diana about the whole PJ thing. So I went over and I let myself in, and I heard Diana in the other room. And just as I started to go into the other room to talk to her, the doorbell rang. And all of a sudden, Diana called, "Jeff?" Well, I got a little confused, and so I just went right on into the hall closet and stayed there. Well, when she told Jeff that PJ was really his son, he got furious. I mean, he could not believe that Diana had kept the truth from him all of this time, and they had a terrible fight. He just stormed out. He never even knew that I was there.
All right, what happened after Jeff left?
Well, I waited in the closet because I could hear Diana crying. So I just didn't know what to do.
Please, go on.
I stayed there, and I waited until things got quiet. I opened the door, and I was going to leave. And that's when I saw Heather. I saw Heather in a nurse's uniform, standing there facing Diana, and she was pointing a gun at her.
And what did you do?
I screamed, "Heather, stop!" It was you! Heather, no.
I remember. You yelled, "Stop!" You knocked the gun out of my hand.
What was I supposed to do? Stand there and let you kill Diana? I couldn't let that happen. I love Diana.
Why didn't you love me?
How can you say that? I saved your life.
What?
You were so shocked when I knocked that gun out of your hand that you stood there like you were in some kind of a trance. But Diana went to a kitchen door and she got another gun. And I thought she was going to kill you, Heather. I really did. Now, maybe she had a right to want to kill you. But I wasn't going to stand there and watch you get shot. You were just standing there, so I ran over and I tried to get the gun away from Diana. But poor Diana must have been so terrified that she wouldn't let go of the gun. Mother, I remember. You did it. You shot her. It was an accident. I just wanted her to put the gun away. I didn't want either one of you to get hurt. It was an accident. Heather, you are my daughter. And she was my friend. I just couldn't get her to let go of that gun, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and then the gun went off. I love Diane Taylor, and I killed her.
Well, I think you've outdone yourself, mate.
It is pretty good, isn't it?
Well, this time anyway.
Oh, come on. You told me you thought it was a brilliant idea.
Could be the answer to all their problems.
I don't think it's such a great idea to turn our living room into a cocktail lounge.
Do you two intend to still do this by yourselves?
Well, of course. Handy Andy and the Sundance Kid.
Not unless you're going to pitch in, Tiff.
Don't be mad, darling. I have no intention of ruining my nails and getting calluses even for you.
Well, there's always dishwashing commercials.
You know, it's very funny that you brought that up, darling, because I've been thinking with all the dust that you've been raising around here, now is the perfect time to get away.
Ah, that's the first valid point I've heard all evening. Unfortunately, I don't know where.
Then why don't you come with me, darling?
What, to Hollywood?
No, to New York, actually. I have a Manhattan agent there, remember? And he would just be dying to see him. Besides, his long-distance relationships are just a little bit hard for me to examine all of my options.
What bloody options?
Well, commercials, for instance.
Hey, look, I was only kidding about the dishwasher bit, all right?
Well, you know, Robert, I'm not exactly to the dishwashing bit yet. I was thinking more in the style of maybe a Class A type commercial, you know, something a little classy. That is in case I don't do a movie first or something.
Constantly the dreamer.
Why don't you come with me, Laura? Please say you'll go.
Well, it would be fun to have a day in New York.
Oh, yes, it would. And my agent will take me to lunch. You know, take us to lunch at a very nice place. And it'll be so nice to be seen again.
Yeah. Well, would we be back here on the same night?
Oh, no, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. We'll spend the night in a hotel and come back the next day.
I don't like it.
Oh, Luke, come on. It'd only be for one day.
One day is a long time.
Oh, come on now. You blink your eyes and I'd be back.
How can you even say that? After all the time it took us to get married. We're married at what? And you're ready to leave me?
I'm not gonna leave you. We're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. I just only talking about one night.
And one day.
Well, I'm all for it.
You would be.
Hey, look, no, it's a great idea. Look, get them out of our hair while we're trying to tear this place apart.
Oh, please say yes, Luke.
Come on, Luke.
Yeah.
It means so much to me. Please?
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Hurry up, man.
Exciting. More champagne.
You would have let them put me in jail for life just to save your own skin.
Oh, no, that's a lie.
Don't you tell me about lies.
Heather, I never would have let them send you to prison. I never would have let them put you in an institution for the criminally insane. They wouldn't have had the proof.
You expect me to believe that? Not after I've been sitting in jail for weeks.
Heather, if you hadn't been up to your same old tricks on the night that Diana Taylor tried, and if you hadn't come snooping around here, they never would have had that murder weapon. Do you understand? You would have been free. They couldn't have any proof. You got yourself in trouble again.
Mrs. Grant, did you have the gun after Diana was shot?
Yes.
Why?
Well, after the gun went up, it came off in my hand, and Heather was in a trance, and Diana was dead, and I was hysterical.
And then what happened?
I went in to check the baby.
Where was Heather?
That must have been when Heather wrote Ann's name in Diana's blood. All I know is when I came back, she was gone.
So the railing just gave way.
She almost took a swim.
What do you think?
I told her I thought that the screws had just rusted through.
Now, tell me what you really think.
Hey, take a look for yourself.
Yeah, I'd say there's no doubt about it.
Then we agree. Somebody deliberately unscrewed these bolts.
Knowing that the slightest pressure would simply make the whole thing collapse.
If it's a practical joke, it's not very funny.
Well, your tormentor, whoever they are, only wants to see you frightened, not seriously hurt.
I know who it is. It's Scott Baldwin.
Well, he'd be my first thought, too. Well, he was.
It's his style, man. It's like an annoying insect, you know?
You're going to have a hard time proving it, mate.
I know I can't prove it, but it's very bizarre the way he's getting back into poor Charles' society. He's become the wronged little boy, the martyr.
The guy does have more front than wind.
Tell me about it. But this is one case of forgive and forget that I cannot forgive, and I sure as hell am going to forget.
Look, whatever you do, don't go getting too upset about it just yet.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get tired of these silly games, these jokes.
That's if it's Scotty.
It better be.
What?
Because Laura thinks the boat's jinxed.
Jinx? And listen, it's the 20th century.
Well, I know it's the 20th century, but she...
Hey, sailor,
Hey.
you're pretty cute. Can I take a walk with you?
Anytime, hot stuff. How you doing? I want you to be careful of this railing here.
Yeah,
Oh, don't
it's rotten to the core.
How about giving us the grand tour of this baby?
Well, I was just about to ask if you wanted a baby.
Well, look, I'll see you back in the salon.
All right.
Salon. I do like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Luke, your boat is beautiful.
Well, so are you, baby sister.
Uh-oh. What are you up to?
Well, what are you talking about? Well, the question is, what are you up to?
Oh, I had a lovely dinner tonight at the Rib with Noah, who is soon, I hope, to be a member of our family.
Oh, that's nice. Just, the two of you, huh?
Oh, no, actually, there were 4 of us. Ann and Zach joined us. Come on, I want to see everything.
Okay.
Show me the best part first.
When I saw that Heather was gone, I just got confused. The gun was still in my hand, and I panicked. I ran, and I just ran till I saw the bus in the distance, and I flagged it down.
Back in the morning, you knew Diana was dead, yet you pretended shock.
No, I wasn't pretending. I had no idea that PJ would be capable of getting out of that bed. I was frantic about the little boy being missing.
I see, then your shock was genuine.
Oh, yes, but of course, I did know Diana was dead.
How could you let them put me through this agony?
Don't you think that I was in agony, too?
I don't know what to think.
Well, then think about this. I want them to put you back into Forest Hills because I know you, and I know what you're capable of doing.
That's enough.
No. No, now you can fool everyone else, but you can't fool me. You should be in Forest Hills. I thought that if I kept quiet that they would send you back there where you belong. And then Steve and Morris could start a new life with Jeff in Nevada. I really thought everything was going to be all right.
You hate me that much.
I don't hate you. I never have. I just know you. You tried to ruin my whole life. No. This tragedy would never have happened if it hadn't have been for you. I kept you from being a murderer, and I kept you from being killed. And what's left? Diana Taylor is dead. And I am going to have to live with that and suffer with it for just the rest of my life because my baby, my own little girl, made me a murderer.